one meal you can never be caught eating.
Amala.
Oops.
A lot of leaders keep just going on with the old ways and not realizing what has happened. The cheese has moved.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's such a pleasure to have you join us today on Leadership Unscripted. And with us today, we have our delectable Dr. Markie Idowu. Dr. Idowu is a multi-talented, award-winning leader with over 35 years experience in banking and IT. She worked with banks including GTB, Fidelity, and Polaris Bank, where she left as an executive director. She now leads a top Nigerian fintech, Express Payment Solution Limited, as the group managing director, CEO. Dr. Markie has been involved in several strategic projects, business initiatives, policy formulation, and implementation, with consistent record of achievements resulting in significant revenue and profit growth for various institutions. She is a turnaround specialist and a team builder. She holds an MSc in software engineering with distinction from Aston University, UK, after graduating at 19, with a first-class degree in computer science, an MBA from Lagos Business School, a PhD in credit management, and attends executive education programs at Harvard, MIT, LSE Insert, etc. Dr. Markie is a fellow, Vice President of Council, National Institute of Credit Administration. She's the chairperson, WITIN, member IOD, HCIB, recipient, British Chevening Scholar Award, Digital Woman of the Year 2024, the Best Female FinTech CEO 2022, Africa's Most Inspirational Women in Leadership 2022, 2023, and so on and so forth. She currently serves as an independent non-executive director on boards of Nigerian Mortgage Refinance Company, NSIA Insurance Limited, having previously served on Main One, IHS, and Equity Assurance Board. And I know that one of the latest board membership is the Standard Chartered Bank. Dr. Markie, it's such a great delight to have you. And guess what? She's our very first guest on Leadership Unscripted. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much, Abiola. I'm excited to be here today. And just as she said, you're going to get it real. We're being real. It's unscripted. So you hear all I have to say from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Markie. Now we're going to go right into the meat of the matter and the reason why we're here. To keep it real, to hear about your real stories, the issues that have shaped who you have become, an icon in this ecosystem, called the digital transformation ecosystem, Africa Digital Transformation Ecosystem. So let's get into it. Dr. Markie, you graduated at 19 with a first degree in computer science. Looking back, what key moments or experiences over the years truly shaped your leadership journey and helped define your voice as a leader?
I would say it started from when I was very young, my upbringing. So my father was somebody who was neutral, gender neutral. So he was one of those people who believed whether you're a guy or a lady, you should be able to achieve anything you want to achieve. I recall when I said I was going to study computer science, and a lot of his friends were like, what's that? What's she going to do with that? Why can't she just go and do regular courses? And he said, no, if that's what she wants to do because she's excellent in mathematics, I would support her. And he went all the way with me to ensure that I got into the school. So that for me, he encouraged us to do anything we wanted to do. That's where the leadership trait started. Said, don't be timid. Make sure that whatever you want, do it, go for it. And then another thing that helped me was when I was in second year in university actually, My lecturer said to me, you can make a first class.
Whoa.
And I laughed and I said, no, first class is for people who read all the time. I just attend lectures. I make sure I don't miss lectures. And then I go to parties. He said, no, from your results, you can actually do it. He then said something to me, whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. And that has been my mantra over the years.
Wow.
So if I'm going to do anything, I make sure I give it my best. And that helped to shape me in whatever I do. Even as I go on, I started going along in the corporate world, I always gave it my best at any time. And I think that's what helped me to become the leader that I've been today.
Wow, thank you. That is a powerful charge. Whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. Thank you for that, Dr. Markie. I'm going to ask you, you've led transformations in bank and fintech for years, in fact, decades. What does it truly take to lead change in traditional, sometimes resistant environment? Because you know what I'm trying to ask is, these labels around the men, you hear about all this corporate achievement, especially within our space, digital transformation space. So can you tell us, what does it take to truly lead change in somewhat a resistant environment?
It does take a lot. But the first I would say is you have to be somebody who can learn, unlearn, and relearn. And I'll give an example. So when I left the banking space to go into the fintech industry, in banking, everything is hierarchical. And then you have young and old people in banking. When I went into the fintech space, the average age of my employees was below 30. And so I realized that the same mindset I used to work in the bank will not work in that space. And so I went to the London School of Economics to take a course in HR, how to manage people further. So I took that course. Then another example, when I was a deputy general manager in the bank, I was moved to head the oil and gas sector. Usually at that high level, you want to show that I already know it and everything. But for me, I called one of the consultants and I said, look, I want to learn from the scratch. I want to understand what is P1, P2, everything about the oil and gas industry. And so I went to the class where they were teaching everybody. I joined the class. I was the oldest in that class. And of course, the most senior in level, being a deputy general manager already. But I learned everything. And so by the time I started talking to my customers, it was beyond just banking. And that's something I got from Guarantee Trust Bank. So in Guarantee Trust Bank, we were trained, if you're going to present a credit on a company that, say, manufactures something, you must understand how do they start, what's the raw material, what's the process, everything. So that's mindset is what took me to go and learn so much. So I wasn't afraid to go and relearn at that age, so that's something. Another thing that is so important that I did was I walk my talk. So when I have people working with me, I don't just say, go and do this, go and achieve this. I lead in front. So when we're given, say, profit targets as an example in the bank, I'm in front there. I go get clients. So when I'm saying to you, you need to go and get customers, I would have already gotten customers. So it encourages people to work with me to know that, yes, she's somebody who leads in front. And if I give an example again on that, when I was in charge of telecoms, e-channels, operations in a bank, there was a Sunday evening and they called me to say that an ATM was on fire.
Whoa.
And they expected me to just sit down at home and be calling them to ask what is happening. But I said, oh, yeah, I've heard. And I just asked my husband, my driver wasn't working. I asked my husband and he took me. We went there to the estate. And it was good I was there because they didn't have to take an important decision on the spot.
Wow.
And I took that decision to turn off things. So it's for me, you have to lead by example, walk the talk. Another thing there is being able to have contacts. You see, the men do a lot better than the women because they do a lot of networking, So even as a woman, you need to ensure that you are doing that. Because some of those relationships you build are what would help you in later life. You know, a lot of the relationships I built in banking, they were the same people I met when I got to the fintech space.
Wow.
And so because we'd had a good relationship, we were able to work together very well. I mean, there's so many, I guess I'll just stop because there are a lot of things you do to get to this level.
This is quite revealing. The Dr. Markie that we see at the top level is letting us into her world. One of the things she said, very profound. You have to imbibe a habit of learning, relearning, and unlearning. I mean, that's a lot for a leader to be intentional enough for her to go take a course in London in HR because she desires to be not just another leader, but an effective leader who has chosen to lead from the front. We're really proud of you, Dr. Markie, and I'm looking forward to that time where you say, Abiola, now I have this hub where you can all just come and learn from me. Thank you. Now, Dr. Markie, you have seen fintech evolve firsthand because you are one of the pioneers, female pioneers of fintech in Nigeria. I mean, there's a Jacqueline Okafor that speaks glowingly about that I had to listen to her because not once, it's not twice. So even without you saying it ever, I know because Jacqueline is just a lover of Dr. Markie and she says it all the time. So you have seen fintech evolve firsthand and it keeps evolving. How would you describe Africa's digital fintech finance journey so far? Our finance journey first. And what emerging trends in fintech both excite you the most and make you believe we should approach make you believe we should approach with caution? So 2 questions here. How our finance journey has evolved, especially into fintech, and what excites you about this whole, journey, the trajectory of finance evolving into fintech, and what's the excitement for you, Dr. Markie?
So it's been awesome, the growth we've recorded in the industry. I remember the days of value card, and then we've gone on now. We have so many fintech companies doing a lot. I mean, Africa has leapfrogged really in this space. We've seen a lot of the companies partnering with banks. I don't see banks, when I was as a fintech person now, I don't see banks as just competition. I see them as partners. Because as an example, at Express Payments, we work with all the banks. We collaborate with the banks, So we've seen a lot happen in the industry. We've seen that because of the growth of the mobile phone penetration, we've been able to reach a lot more people. So the banks are now able to do some level of banking, So a lot has happened in the industry. It's enabled us to reach several places that we never would have reached. So as an example, the agents you have, so agency banking business, you now have agents spread all across the country in Nigeria as an example, and it's enabled people to be able to do little transactions, cash in, cash out, in very remote locations where you don't have banks. So we brought in more people into the space. So the fintech industry has really evolved. And we've even seen a lot of finance coming into the country, being for people wanting to partner with these fintech companies. Now, in terms of what I say, what excites me, I think one of the things that excites me is embedded finance. Wow. It's growing all over the world, and it's also growing in Africa. So a situation where, as an example, somebody can go to a retail shop and you want to buy something and you do finance, you take a loan there, because when this issue of buy now, pay later, what it is you're giving a loan. So rather than having to go to the retail shop and then go to the bank to ask for a loan, at the retail shop, they just offer you buy now, pay later. That's a loan. So that's embedded finance. And that's something that excites me because I believe that industry is going to grow a lot more. Another thing that I think it's really good, and the CBN has announced it would take off in August, I believe. It's the issue of open banking. Okay. So with open banking, people will be able to access, so companies like fintechs and others will be able to access data. There'll be sharing of data. So If you take today, some of the companies that give out loans, they actually don't have enough data about the customers. And that's why they resort to several means trying to, when they are not able to recover their money. But with open banking, with the approval of the customer, they are able to actually ask a bank for the details. There will be sharing of data via APIs and all that. And so that's something that excites me. And the central bank has announced it should take off in August. So we're looking forward to that. And of course, the major one in the room, the good and bad one in the room, is AI.
There you go.
Yes. So AI is good because it's helping us to do a lot of things. You see chat bots now for your customer service. You're able to use a lot of that, to make things easier. And then, of course, with AI, you can do a lot of things, but therein comes in the challenge, the bad things you can do with AI. We've seen situations now where people are actually faking orders.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What's it called?
Deep fake.
Deep fake, yeah.
Deep fake.
Yeah.
We're seeing that. I recall there was even a situation where they faked a voice and were able to transfer a lot of money from a bank. So that's the bad side of that. But I mean, we'll have to balance it. So yes, I'm excited about those three things happening in this space.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Markie. I mean, it's almost like a learning platform. You've spoken about the past, how we were able to scale up, the partnership with the banks and fintech. You've also given us an insight into how open banking will work so that we can take a position now. And of course, the downside of AI and other evolving technology, which we can never overemphasize, and how these sort of conversations will help us to scale up in our cybersecurity hygiene practices. Dr. Wale Obadare says that, look, your cybersecurity hygiene is like, it has to be in your DNA.
Oh, yes.
You have to just get it right and not take anything for granted, because
It's so important now.
absolutely, because digital revolution, or rather, industrial revolution will always be with us. We're in the fifth now.
Yeah.
And we are going to keep scaling up. So thank you for those fantastic insights. Now we're bringing it home, Dr. Markie. We're bringing it home, right? You currently lead Express Payment Solutions, one of Nigeria's best fintech companies. I want to qualify like that because it's been there, it's there now, and it's the fintech company to watch for the future, because all their fundamentals are right. They're not there today and then tomorrow. They've been consistently growing. I would say that. So for those unfamiliar with the brand, those who are just swarmed with so many other options, and what is Express Payments really about? What sets it apart in Nigeria's highly competitive fintech space? And what's one project or innovation you're most proud of that embodies the company's vision of smarter living for Africans?
Thank you. So Express Payments, it's a fintech. We have a license, switching license from the CBN. That switching license enables us to do a lot of things. We do PTSP, we do PSSP, and then PTSP is simply payment terminal service provider. So we work with all the banks. When you go to all the shops and you see POS terminals everywhere, the banks have to work with PTSPs to deploy them. So we work with all the banks to deploy those terminals. With our PSSP part of the business, which is payment solutions provider, we do a lot of solutions for the government, for schools, hotels, companies. We do a lot of things. And for us, the vision is to ensure that we simplify living. We bring banking, we bring solutions, e-payments to you wherever you are. So as an example, today, we actually collect the IGR for 3 states in Nigeria: Oyo State, Delta State, and Ogun State. We handle all the collections and we make it simple for them. People can pay by going to bank branches, by being in their offices, using POS machines, paying online. So that for us is what we do. We simplify the way people can pay. You asked me what's a product I'm so proud of. It's a payment gateway. So the payment gateway enables people to have a payment solution. As an example, if I take a university, because we handle all the payments for higher institutions in Ogun State as an example, what we have there is we have a payment gateway there. And so when students go, they just go online and you pay. So when you go online and you're trying to pay, it's a payment gateway that's backing it. The express payment gateway is what is used by, as an example, the schools I mentioned in Ogun State. But it's not just for schools. It's used everywhere. Hotels, the government I mentioned, anything to do with collections. But the beauty about that product is that the SMEs, the individuals, can use it. So for people who don't have websites, they don't have anything, so we have what we call a storefront. It means that, yes, it's a storefront. So we enable them to be able to use it to collect all these online people. They use
our virtual friends.
Yes, so that's something that we do. We do have a sister company called Express MTS.
Okay.
Yes, so they have the agency banking license and mobile money license. With that, we currently have over 50% and 50,000 agents spread across the country, all the local governments in the country. But what excites me most about the agency business is that we deliberately target women.
Oh, wow. So now you've hit a raw nerve for me. Yes. Wow.
So today, over 30% of our total agents are women. And what do we do for them? We actually train them for free. And then we give them the POS machines for free. So they are able to start up. But what gives me joy is when you see that one woman who you have given a terminal, she then expands, she gets a second terminal, she actually employs somebody else. So they are spreading. So that for me, it's really a lot of joy. And that's part of what I discussed when I had a TED Talk. So ASI University had a TED Talk in Abuja, and I gave that. It's one of the things that I'm really proud of, to say that women are coming up and we are actually giving them a source of income. Giving a source of income. So that's what that other company does.
Dr. Markie is one of the first, women rather, who has supported us as the CIO African project. In this project, in our firm, she lives in our hearts. And that's why we are so honored to have you be the first guest on Leadership Unscripted.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm happy to be the first guest. Thank you for the honor.
Thank you more for all you do. Broken a lot of glass ceilings, broken a lot of records around how a top leader like her is navigating, not just navigating, but impacting the ecosystem called digital transformation in Africa. Now, gradually, I'm going to begin to, get us to look at some other fun facts about Dr. Markie. But before we go to that, I want to ask her, we heard from a little birdie that you're soon stepping into retirement. First off, how does that feel? Because I couldn't wrap my head around that beautiful, energetic Dr. Markie retirement. Wait, what's going on? So how does that make you feel? Is it, let me preempt you, because when I was also saying that by 55 I retire, but I know that retirement is taking me into another phase of what? Global impact. That's my own secret prayer, that Lord, 55, I'm going up there. You can catapult it now, but I'm retiring from but now. So tell me, how does that make you feel?
So interesting. They always say retiring but not tired. So I've done over 36 years in this industry. I've been doing 9 to 5. So I think it's time to, retire, take a break. Even though the government says 35 years or when you hit 60. So I'm not yet hitting 60, but I've done 36 years. For me, the next phase will be a lot of fun. So I've gone on several boards. Just as you mentioned, I'm on the board of Standard Chartered Bank Nigeria. I'm on the board of NCI Insurance and NMRC. Those will keep me busy with working on the boards. Also, I'm currently the chairman of council of Women in Technology in Nigeria, where we tend to bring women and girls and train them on ICT, get exposures for them and all that. So that also will keep me busy. I am the vice president of the Nigerian Institute of Credit Admin. So that's quite a lot. So at this stage for me,
On the board of She FinTech.
Chief FinTech, yeah.
She FinTech, we see you.
Yeah. So for me, this is a stage to continue to give back. I'm going to be doing a lot of advocacy, doing a lot of things. So it's not really, it's leaving 9 to 5 work, but it's going in to do a lot more, going in, looking more at the global perspectives, doing a lot of things more, and sitting on more boards, contributing at board levels. That's will be it. So yes, the little bird told you right.
So, Dr. Markie, what you've just said now is looking like retirement is not really retirement in that real sense, but she's going higher, now choosing her own terms of how she wants to serve her communities and the various parts of our ecosystem. Well done, Dr. Markie. We're bringing this home now. And I really wanted to ask you this. Do you have somebody you look up to, like a mentor?
Oh yes.
So what timely piece of advice have they given you? I mean, what's the biggest takeout or impact your mentors or your mentor, a particular one, has had on you?
Also, I've had mentors right from early days in my career. Yes. So and one of them, he's late now, Shea Bickerstead, used to be then at Anderson. You know, when I started working, they had tried to pull me over because they want to have people who are first class, to Anderson at that time. So, and so they tried to take me.
When first class was first class.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I didn't move, but he became a mentor to me. And there was something he said to me at one particular time where I was very upset with my boss and I was trying to resign. And he said to me, never resign because you're angry with your boss, because at that time your decisions are not right. Wait, view it, and then resign when you're ready, not because you're upset. And really at that time I did take that advice and I waited, and so I then had a better opportunity. So that's it. Another mentor that I've had along the line is the founder of Guarantee Trust Bank, Mr. Fola Abiola. He's been there for me. We go to him even after leaving the bank. He's guided me certain key decisions we were discussing. So I believe in mentorship, which is why I also ensure that I mentor a lot of people. Yes.
Thank you. It sounded like when you're talking about what your mentor Shei said to you, I could see a string of emotional intelligence there.
Yes.
You want to talk about that in about 30 seconds?
Okay.
Because it's not something that everybody understands, even though it's out there. I would like your perspective on that, stringing it back to your story.
Okay, so emotional intelligence is so important as a leader. You have to have it, because what does it do? It's such that you understand your strengths and your weaknesses and you know how to manage it. And then for the others, you're showing empathy. You understand the other person's perspective. Without emotional intelligence, it's difficult to really manage people. So it's so important to have it and to continue to look for ways to improve your weaknesses.
Now, 35 years plus of excellence. Oh my God. Dr. Markie, if you were to title the book of your leadership journey, what will it be?
Let me see. I think it will be, I would have it this way. Unstoppable. The unstoppable, my journey, my leadership journey through banking and fintech. Because I believe that's what it's been for me. I've been unstoppable. I've fought the battles. I've had my own ups and downs, but I've fought for my shirt. And that's something I always say to women. I have never believed that I should be given a position because I'm a woman. No, I want to be given an equal opportunity to fight for that position. So I'm used to fighting for my shirt. So yes, if I were to write a book, I think it would be Unstoppable, the leadership journey of a woman in banking and fintech.
I think we have put Dr. Markie on the spot. Dr. Markie, if that book doesn't come out, now that you have a lot of time, so to speak, we will not forget. This is on camera. And if I must add, while she was talking, right, we did her, of course, our KYC on her. to pull up all of this, session together. And you know what? She's a woman of integrity. Integrity, character has remained impeccable. Dr. Markie, without me saying, it's not flattery, is beautiful. We know women that they've risen to the top, and we've had all sorts of stories around their rise to the top. But she's standing strong today. 36 years of meritorious service, and she's someone that we can look up to. That if Dr. Markie has remained unstoppable, holding her own, then what is our story? What is our excuse? I'm speaking to the women friends out there. Now, let's close out with a little fun fact. Okay. Quick answers only. Quick answers, Dr. Markie.
Okay, ready, shot.
Go. One leadership quote you live by.
Whatever is wording at all is wording well.
Excellent. One meal you can never be caught eating.
Amala.
Oops.
I just don't like it.
Oh my God. One thing people misunderstand about you.
Oh, that would be thinking I'm a Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher. So they think I'm hard until they get to know me. Maybe because of my stand. So they just think I'm hard. But when they get to know me, then they know I'm a compassionate person who cares a lot about people.
Right. I that resonates with me. I feel it. Dr. Markie, I'm in your tribe. I am definitely in your corner. Okay, one book every African leader should read. Take your time.
Funny enough, it's not any of the current ones. I would just say read Who Moved My Cheese.
Oh, wow.
It's an old one, but I think people keep forgetting because a lot of leaders keep just going on with the old ways and not realizing what has happened. The cheese has moved.
Wow. There are some timeless books. They are classic. You can't, it's like also talking about the 7 habits of highly effective people.
I would also think that that's the good one also, yes.
Absolutely. So we should all get this. And then your retirement plans. I know you've spoken elaborately about the corporate side, giving back to the boards you serve on. But please tell us, I want to know some fun things. Are you going to travel the world? Are you going to be speaking to us from the America any moment soon? So tell us.
So,
build a tech school or start what I've been nudging you to do, Dr. Markie's cohort hub. Tell us.
For now, what I'll say first for now is I'm just going to have a long holiday, 3 months holiday touring the world, doing cruises, doing everything. After that, yes, I will tell you what else I would do.
I like that. I mean, that's good enough for us. Thank you. Then tell us legacy in one word. What does legacy means to you in just one word?
Legacy for me is actually what people remember you for. I want people to remember me for how I touched their lives. So touch their lives either in the corporate world or in just helping people. So I deal with a lot of women at times, women who are abused or girls who are abused, and we struggle to get them out, do things for them. So for me, my legacy will be how many lives did I touch and what did I do for them?
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure there could have been any other way to end this Leadership Unscripted series, and what Dr. Markie just said as a final note is not about how far in life, but it's about how well. Who are we impacting? Who is feeling even our absence when we have to travel or move our assignment? So this is ending on a powerful note for us. You agree with us that we've learned so much about our distinguished, delectable Dr. Markie Idowu today, and we're really glad that you've let us into your world. You've given us a 360 degree of the woman called Dr. Markie Idowu. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and thank you for ambushing me also. It's been fun. Yeah.
Thank you.